It's dope, huh?
Yeah.
It looks all professional.
Yeah, Univision.
Yeah, for real, huh?
It does.
So right there, I'm able to see like all three cameras. I'm able to see that all like you see all the
audio,
audios, and then the
time.
the ISO recording is right there.
Nice.
And I was telling Daniel that if in case I ever want to show something on my phone, I can connect it here, and it'll be recording to this.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it like in case we ever
like a screen recorder or something.
Yeah, exactly that. So it's screen recording whatever I connect here. So if we ever want to react to a video and all that stuff.
Nice.
So I have a dude, I freaking love this setup.
That's impressive. That looks really cool.
Yeah. You said Univision.
Univision. Ooh. That looks really cool.
Here, before we start, can you hear me good? It's not too loud?
No.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Here, let me give this.
Wow. So legit.
It looks sick, huh?
Yeah, that does look really cool.
You feel like it looks like you or no? A little bit?
Yeah. I feel like they gave me a lazy eye. But it looks cool.
Yeah, you want to show the camera?
Super cool.
It's here, let's para que la gente. There we go. So
they kind of did me dirty on the eyes.
Yeah. So I gave Betty her cartoon.
It's like a plaque.
Yeah, it's a plaque. Yeah, it really is because you got to 2.3 million, dude. That's insane.
I know.
I think that was on TikTok and Instagram. I think you got 1 point something million.
Yeah.
And then the one with the eclipse, that one's like 800 something thousand.
Nice.
Yeah, so almost a million.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude. So, dude, I don't know. You probably have something special or just super lucky, but man, you're killing it. So yeah, honestly, this is gonna be what, your third time?
Yeah. It feels like my millionth time.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So I honestly value that you come here, and another thing that I value is that you don't really care about the good comments, bad comments. You just let it do its thing. And yeah.
I should be a Kardashian.
Why is that?
Because I don't let the bad comments get to me.
Oh yeah, exactly, right. At the end of the day,
I'd be good at being famous,
dude.
Because I'm like, okay.
The other day I saw on your Instagram stories, I think you put that something that your husband or boyfriend doing something, and then you being a influencer or wannabe influencer. ¿Cómo era ese?
Yeah, it said, mi novio no publica nada, pero yo publico todo porque me creo influencer.
Oh yeah, he's not really into social media like that.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
I mean, we go to dinner and I'm like, stop, don't eat because I need to post the food, you know.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll be like, oh, our food looks good. I'm gonna, take a picture real quick.
Yeah.
And it's like all blurry. The drinks are not set up. It's like,
oh, from his end.
Yeah. And I'm like, cringe. That's not how you do it.
Yeah. So, but even I think the first time that you came, you were mentioning that this is something you would want to do, right? Like social media, but then you feel like it's like time consuming and hard. Is that what it is? Okay.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I would love to,
Sorry, I was looking for the AC thing.
That's okay.
Uh-huh.
I'd love to be like an Itati.
Okay.
Because I
so
don't want to be perfect.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be the perfect mom who creates content. Like, I want to be like,
just real.
Bitch, this is me.
Yeah.
Like,
so
sorry.
Man, the podcast is perfect for you. Then.
Yeah.
Oh, dude,
yeah,
that's
why
dope.
I say everything I say on here because I'm like, I don't care. Like, what are you guys gonna clock me for?
Dude, and you know what? I was kind of worried. When was it? Like, just in general, because at times like, fuck, what if like even like Daniel or you, that like, let's say if you guys don't want to come no more, I'm like, fuck, man,
what am I gonna do?
Yeah, like, I mean, I'll find guests, right? And I have cello and things like that.
Yeah.
But I really like having you guys here, right?
Yeah.
But thank you for giving me that reassurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, that's dope, man. I appreciate it.
And I do read the comments.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like nosy. I want to see like what people are saying.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I mean, till this day, man, like I'll get bad comments not knock on wood, right? Because there's some that like, oh, they hit me where it hurts. I'm like, oh fuck, like I know what you're talking about. But then at the end of the day, it is what it is.
And you want to reply so bad, like,
oh yeah,
okay, but this and that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, it's not worth it.
Yeah, you're never gonna end, and it's just So, yeah, and why bring up light to that, right?
Right.
When there's a lot of good comments
ones.
out there, like, dude, like I've received, and I feel like there's times when a lot of people watch the podcast and they like watching the clips, but they probably stop themselves from sharing that they're watching the podcast or something just because. And there's a quote to this that maybe at this current stage of the podcast, it's not popular to support the podcast right now, right?
Exactly.
Why? Because like, oh shit, I don't want to repost that I'm watching.
They only have 2,000 followers.
Yeah, right. But when it comes down to like, let's say if the platform, the podcast continues growing, then like, oh shit, like, yeah, I know him, girl, or whatever the case is. And that's when it becomes popular to support those people because they're already on top. Right. So, but behind the scenes, like through DM, here and there, they'll post it. They do a lot of reshares. People like strangers that they don't even follow the page a lot. Like, but people that I know personally, that I know that they watch, they won't like really share, right? For the same reason we were talking about. But behind the scenes, I've gotten like, oh man, like I watched a lot of your podcast. I'm a big fan of you guys. I've watched your ayahuasca videos. They helped me out so much. They've gotten in touch with the shaman, things like that. So it's just like I get a lot of people that, and maybe they're not into social media like that either. So, but those messages I really, really appreciate.
Yeah.
And to those people that actually take the time and comment on those podcasts, thank you. Appreciate that. Like, especially on YouTube, because YouTube, I feel like Instagram and all that, it's one thing, but on the actual podcast YouTube channel, appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
How do you feel about being a cartoon?
I feel great.
Yeah. So I have you behind you over there. Probably the camera's not going to be there, but I have you there, and this one's for you, so you can take.
Oh, okay. I could take this one. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. So being on the subject of social media, how do you feel about the actual word itself, about those content creators being called influencers? Do you really feel those content creators are truly influencers or not?
Some of them, yeah.
Yeah?
I do think that they influence.
Okay.
Because it's like influencer means that they're influencing their followers to do something, right?
Okay.
So whether it's good, bad, buy something, be a certain way, they're influencing.
Okay. For example, would you be able to give me an example that you're like, yeah, this person that I watch or I've watched, I think they would be considered an influencer?
That I like am influenced by?
No, just that you would see like, oh, they could be considered an influencer.
Itati.
Yeah?
I think she is.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so there's two versions where I think you're going, whereas like Itati and then like Shawty Bae.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, what is Shawty Bae influencing?
Okay. Well, even Itati too, because this is my perspective, right?
Right.
Those two, yeah, they have a lot of following, right? But for me, and I guess it depends how you want to take it, because when I hear of influencer, like, dude, you're influencing the community, and I like to think of it as a positive thing, right?
Okay.
Now, when I hear of those names, Shawty Bae, Itati, and the list goes on, I see them as just like, dude, they're just content creators or chismosas, or they're just like doing dumb content. So I wouldn't consider them as influencers. However, they do influence a lot of people, a specific type of people.
Right. They all have their own little like
community.
Yeah, like a fan base that I feel like 13-year-olds will most likely follow Shawty Bae and be influenced by what she's doing.
Okay.
Whereas like a little bit of like the older teenagers, like 18 to 20,
Right.
something-year-olds are following Itati, and they're like kind of influenced by
Right.
her. So I just think they each have, that's why I compare the two, because they're so different, but
Yeah.
they still have a huge influence on the people that
Right.
follow them, you know?
Yeah.
But I do get what you're saying. Like, they're not influencing like their community in a positive way. Like, what are they doing, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So I guess there's different types of influencing, right?
Yeah.
Whether you're influencing in a positive way or something that you're actually helping out the community, or at the same time, you're influencing one way or another, like you said earlier, to purchase things and whatnot.
Right. Like, there's this, he started off locally in San Diego. I think his name is like Junie or Juby, something like that.
Yeah.
He's a Latino.
Okay.
Who goes around to like the vendors, like the street vendors, elote guys, flower guys, stuff like that. And he tells them like, oh, do you want to go work for the day? And they're like, oh, what? Like, okay, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then he takes them to like Disneyland and stuff like that.
And he's here from San Diego?
He's from San Diego, but I think he's branched out to like LA and like other areas.
Yeah.
But that's another form of influencing. Like, he's impacting his community. He's making a difference, you know? So I think there's like a category for everything.
Yeah,
but
true.
It doesn't take away from like what Itati and Shawty Bae have built, because growing on social media is hard. Like,
True.
so whether it's stupid content, it's like, well, they got rich off stupid content, you know?
Yeah, they found a way to do it, right?
Niche, and everybody has their own like thing. That's why when like that video went viral for the postpartum thing, it's like, maybe that's it for me, you know? Like,
nah, hell no.
No. Like finding your thing.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, maybe
like
that
maybe
niche.
like that motherhood,
Right.
postpartum, like everything that has to do with that. Maybe that's for me. Like, maybe that's where it's at, because I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Whereas like maybe if I try to go like through the makeup route, maybe it won't hit as much, because maybe that's just not for me, you know?
Yeah. What about the clips one? That one hit.
Yeah, it did. But again, it had to do with motherhood.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, it did, huh?
See?
Yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, yeah, you have a point. Well, back then I had told you, hey, well, maybe you can start your own little podcast, but just come here and continue talking about motherhood.
I know. You know what stops me a lot from starting like creating content and stuff is also like showing my kids.
Really?
Yeah.
But you show your kids.
Yeah, but not to like monetize off of it. You know? Like, I mean, obviously I wouldn't be comfortable like creating content with them.
Oh, yeah.
I would be comfortable creating like my content as a mom, but like I don't want to do like, oh, a day with my kids, like, oh, we woke up and like be recording my kids the whole day.
Right.
You know?
Well,
like,
why do you say that? Do
me.
you feel like that's weird when other like family channels or influencers do that?
I do. I think it's weird because it's like, these are like kids, like they're babies. Like, there's no way your kid wants to do that clip 3 times because you didn't get it the first time.
Oh, okay.
There's no way you got it the first time. And if you did, it's like, okay, that was like one day. But there's people that do it every day and they just like make money off of their kids, it feels like.
Yeah, so you feel like they're probably pushing the kid to do that almost as a job, right?
Yeah, and then they realize that they're, you know, monetizing off of it, or like those certain videos are getting more views or they're getting more feedback from it. So then they're like, okay, more of that, because that's what people like to see.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Like there's this TikTok girl, I don't know her name, but the mom froze honey in a container, in a cylinder container.
What the fuck?
And then squeezed it. So then a cylinder honey shaped came out, and she made her daughter like eat it.
Wait,
and it's on TikTok.
What type of shape? Like a
cylinder shape.
Oh, okay.
And the honey was in there, and she froze it so that the honey got hard.
Yeah.
And then she squeezed it and made it her daughter like eat it on camera.
What the heck?
And it's on TikTok.
Really?
And it's not banned and it's not flagged, and it has like thousands and millions of views and saves and shares.
And like what were the comments saying?
Well, at first, this mom, and that's why I bring it up, because it's like, at first, this mom started as like a mom content creator.
Okay.
And she started like vlogging her day and making breakfast for her toddler. And then she realized like, oh, I'm monetizing off me and my daughter. Like, she stopped posting vlogs of her day. And then it was just vlogs of the toddler's day. Yeah. And then it kept getting worse and worse and worse, like to the point where she was putting her daughter in like crop tops and like bathing suits and like recording her swimming, just like really inappropriate stuff.
Right.
And then she posted that like honey video, and that's when everybody kind of was like, whoa, like what the hell are you doing? You know? And I think right now she like turned off all her comments and stuff like that, but like her account is still up. Like it's still there. Why? Because it's considered family content, you know?
Yeah. What the fuck?
So it's just, I feel like there's just like this negative like aura around family content, like kid content, that I just don't want to dive into. I would rather just stick to like me, like, yeah, I don't mind showing you what I'm cooking for my kids, but I'm not going to show you like my kids eating, you know?
Right.
And it's not about like when people post like pictures of their kids and then like block out their faces.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Like, yeah.
No, that's not what I mean. Just like mainly if you're going to start a content page, like I wouldn't want to do it based off my kids. You know, I wouldn't mind sharing pictures of my kids, like, oh, we're at Disneyland and stuff like that. But to create just content about them, I wouldn't be comfortable.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it almost feels like, dude, they're in a sense hostage, right? Because they have nowhere else to go. So they're forced to almost do that.
Yeah. And they don't get it. They're kids. Like, they're just like, okay, I'll do it. Like, okay, yeah. And then they grow up one day and they're like, well, what the hell were you doing? Like,
yeah.
You know?
They weren't even allowed to be truly kids, right?
Yeah. Or like the like aesthetic moms that have their kids in like all beige clothes and like all neutral colors, and their home is white and beige and all their colors are wood tones, and like, girl, get him a Spider-Man. That kid wants Spider-Man.
Yeah,
and they do like these birthday themes of like checkers, black and white, and only a hint of blue. And I'm like, the kid wants a Miss Rachel party. He doesn't want black and white. He's a kid.
Yeah, he wants colors.
Yes, he wants balloons. He wants like all the colorful stuff. Like, but it's the aesthetic that they want to put up with for social media.
Dude, that's crazy, man. I haven't seen those videos. Like, for, you said it's for birthday parties, like for kids.
They'll throw like bohemian first birthdays.
Yeah.
Girl, bye. Yeah. No, there's no way your daughter wants a bohemian birthday. And it'll be all like sunflowers and neutral colors, and you know,
like who is a party for, right? Yeah, because like you said, kids, they just want to see colors. They want to see balloons, the paint like all over the place. They just want to have fun. Yeah. You're not gonna do that for your kids, right? No. Yeah. Which your kids are gonna be turning 1.
Yeah, they turn 1 this month.
Damn, time is flying.
Flew.
Yeah, when you first came, they were a couple months, right? I think
they were 5 months when I came.
Damn.
Yeah, I think so.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when are your kids turning 1?
May 15th.
Oh, okay. So within like a week, 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. Oh shit.
Yeah.
All right, let me do the intro. Even though we've already talked, but I don't even know if I should continue doing the intros because but it just became a habit to like hit the button and just, I don't know. What do you feel like? Do it or not do it? Fuck it. It is what it is, or what do you think? Yeah. Fuck it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Oh wait.
20 minutes in.
Yeah, it really is. Houseman. And you guys can let me know if you guys are current watchers that you guys have like watched the podcast in the past. If you guys like when I do that, or if you guys feel like it interrupts the podcast, just let me know. But I feel like it gives it a little bit of a breather to kind of like recollect, you know. But anyways, this is going to be episode 66. If not, you guys will see it in the title. If you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. I think we need like 33 people left.
Wow.
So we're almost
so
there.
Close. We'll get there after this one.
Yeah, for sure. We're almost freaking there, and not sure exactly what it does. I know supposedly that meets the requirements to get monetized, but I'm sure you still need to like get a bunch of freaking views after that, so on and so. But it's a step closer to everything, right? But yeah, so if you're not subscribed, take the time right now to subscribe. Hit the like button. Let Beta know if you guys have watched any of your past podcasts that you guys do want to continue having her over. At least from my end, you're gonna continue coming over. So yeah. So yeah. So the main thing, and I'll put your socials on the description and all that stuff. So yeah, now that you see, like, aside from the podcast, right? Do you feel like at one point you do want to like dive into more social media, or you're just fine with?
Sometimes I wake up so motivated and I'm like, I'm going to create content today. Yeah. And I'm like, even if it's just like doing my brows or something like simple, you know, I don't have to make like a whole 2-hour vlog or something. So I'm like, let me start small. But it's hard.
What's the hard part?
Like, well, I recorded myself. It's so funny because my boyfriend always tells me, he's like, do it. I know you'll pop off. Like, do it. So the other day I was like, okay, I'm going to do it. So I recorded myself like cooking and I made this like meal, and I would like start and I even bought myself like a little tripod with like, I mean, I'm just using my phone, you know?
Right. Dude, that's all you need.
And that's how everybody does it. I'm like, what the hell? So then I like start recording, and then I stop, and then I start, and then I stop, and then I start, and then I stop every time I'm like doing like a clip. Yeah. So then I have like 50 clips, and then I'm like, I have to put all this shit together still. So then, and like cooking already took me like an hour and a half. And I'm like, by that time I'm like tired, and then I got to serve everybody. We eat, and then.
You said how many clips?
Not 50, but being a little dramatic.
Maybe like 15 maybe or something.
Yeah, about.
Okay.
And then from there, I'm like, damn, I got to put all these together. They're still sitting in my gallery.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Have you put a video like that together in the past?
I've done like through TikTok where you just like select the clips and then like...
TikTok will kind of do its thing?
Yeah.
But you've never like taken the time to kind of arrange things on
other than on TikTok, no.
Okay.
Or like CapCut.
Yeah. Okay. But you have done like a little video?
Yeah.
Okay. So it's just maybe you feel like it's a little overwhelming, kind of like, oh, fuck, now I just gotta...
Yeah. Okay. I feel like that is more the word. It's like overwhelming with like everything I already have on my plate. Like adding another thing, it's like, girl...
Yeah, but it's not though. It's not. Why? Because I'll tell you this, and I'm not sure if I've shared it in the past, but Chelo has always wanted to do the same thing, right? Even like just any little random video, right? She's always wanted to do her like little thing, right? But, and I know even Danielle's girlfriend, I think she's mentioned that her dream or one of her goals is to become an influencer. A lot of people want to do this type of thing, but. Oh, go ahead.
But I think they want to do it because they think it's easy.
Well, maybe, but at the same time, they see other people doing it. So I'm like, oh, fuck, like I want to do that, right? And dude, I would love for everybody to be doing it. Why? Because I feel like it opens... it opens the creative side of people to be truly themselves, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of people stop themselves because they're overthinking what people are going to think of them. Mm-hmm. They're overthinking what people are going to comment. Obviously, the judgment, and also the overwhelming of like, oh, I need a tripod. I need a better camera. I need to learn how to edit. So they're just overthinking it so much.
That's where I'm at right now.
So it clogs your mind, right? Mm-hmm. So I told Chelo this. I'm like, dude, I'm going to help you record a TikTok right now. And I'm going to show you how easy it is, right? I'm like, what do you want to do? Okay, well, I think she wanted to record just any random video. I'm like, okay, let's record it. We recorded it. It was like maybe 5-7 clips. Like, look, I'm gonna teach you how to do this, right? After I taught her and I showed her that how to do it or whatever, and she did it, I just kind of guided her. After she did it, like, she even started tearing up. Why? Because it was creating so much frustration, right? That it's just like, fuck, like, I want to do it, but when you finally do it, it's just like, you feel like you're released. Like, finally, like, man, I was so stuck. And now she does her own TikToks. Like, she started doing it now. Like, she finally got one. They got to like 45,000 views.
Nice.
Another one to 10,000 views. But now she's on her own, like, doing her own little thing, right?
Yeah. And I follow this twin mom, and like, she does it, and she's like, come out with me.
Yeah.
Like a Target run or like stupid small stuff, you know, and she does it so effortlessly.
Yeah.
And she has twins, and I'm like, and they're the same age as my twins. So I'm like, if she can do it, I can do it.
Dude, before you leave, we're gonna have that video edited right now. Like, dude, it'll take you.
And you know what? I think for me is exactly what you said. It's like, I don't care what people say. It's not that. For me, it's, I want my videos to look like aesthetically pleasing. I want them to like flow and look nice, like the way like
You shouldn't worry about
nice
that.
ones look.
You shouldn't worry, because you're thinking of like, I want to get to the top.
Yeah. And I was watching a live this morning of this like TikToker, and she said exactly that. She said, some girl asked her on there, like, oh, like, how do I start doing TikTok? Like, I want to be like you, whoop-de-whoop. And she's like, but I'm scared because whenever I post, I only get like 4 views. And the girl responded, and me quedó como anillo al dedo. Like, she was like, pues, ¿qué piensas? ¿Que vas a empezar con 1,000,000 de views?
Yeah.
Like, she's like, no, mijita, yo también empecé with 4 views, and then 10 views, and then 20, and then 50, and now I'm at 1,000,000.
Yeah.
She's like, but I started just like you with my shitty videos and my 4 views. She's like, the key is to start. And I was like, damn, she talking to me too.
But you know what? Everybody says that. Just start.
Yeah.
Just start. Just
So
do it.
that has to be the key, you know?
But it's just in your mind, right? Like, for something that, like, and I'll compare it to what happens to me, right? I compare it to when I have a whiteboard that I keep track of my goals, right? And I'll do, like, if I do my 5 days cardio, I'll check it off, right? If when I post a podcast, I'll check it off. Like, it's my to-do list for the week, my goals, my weekly goals. But if I miss 1 or 2 days, my mind's thinking like, fuck, I haven't checked it off. But then I let time go, and then I forget. That's why I post it at times on social media so I can go back. But now I'm backtrack, I think 2 weeks, and it's bugging me so much that I have to backtrack. And I'm like, fuck, like, maybe instead of backtracking, I'm just gonna, like, it is what it is. I already lost those 2 weeks that I didn't do it, and I'll start this week, right?
Yeah.
But I compare it to the same thing, to what maybe you girls are going through, that you guys want to create this type of content, but you guys are overthinking it, when just take a couple minutes, mess with it, next thing you know, you're already done.
Yeah.
The time that you're spending scrolling, you could have been doing your own.
Mm-hmm. Right? That's very true.
Yeah.
So stay tuned.
Yeah. Nah, hell no, man. Like, I had a Jessica, she came onto the podcast. She said the same thing. Oh, I'm going to be doing this and that. I haven't seen not one thing. So we better
Hold
see
me
it.
accountable.
Yeah, we better see it. Yeah, dude, it's honestly, it's not hard. Like, even this podcast right now, even though it's gotten to the point that I like, obviously there's a lot of room for improvement, with obviously better cameras, better everything, right? But it got to the point that I'm like, I can live with this. Like, I'm fine with my current setup right now. Obviously, I want, like, continue growing and maybe a bigger studio, but for me, it almost feels intimate. I really, really like it. Like,
do you know if there's like a creative space for podcasts in San Diego?
There's a few.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a few. Yeah. Why?
Because I feel like it's not really big here.
It's not though. It's very selective, and it's not really known as much.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like there's a lot of room for growth for all this like influencing podcast and all this kind of like social media, like genre thing, I feel like there's a lot of growth for it here in San Diego because there's not a lot of it.
No.
And I feel like, okay, I know LA is like obviously known for that, you know, but I feel like even Phoenix or like Texas, like a lot of places over there, there's still like a lot of podcasting and a lot of like influencing going on. So I'm like, those places are not as big as LA. So I feel like we could grow too.
Oh yeah, big time.
You know?
Yeah, big time. You know that there's a lot of podcasts here in San Diego, right? A lot.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
But, and this is me being quite frank, like I don't feel like they're doing it right. And maybe the reason why I say that is because I truly am a consumer to the podcast. Like I watch podcasts and YouTube on a daily. Like I just love it. Right.
Yeah.
So I compare myself to the bigger podcasts, the bigger like content creators. So not that I try to mimic, but I see what everybody else is doing. So I already have an idea on how I want my content to do that. And I feel like other people, it's a good thing they're starting, but there's a lot of room for improvement. And I've tried to like, hey man, like I can help out if you guys want, but I feel like here, and maybe this is relatable to the music scene and all that, but I feel like podcasts here in San Diego, and as well as music, that people are just kind of, they don't want to collab with one another. They're just like, all right, you're doing your thing, like I'm doing my thing. They don't want to help each other.
It's almost like competition
instead
of like,
there's a lot of competition. But it's just, man, like if people
we'll both make it,
Yeah.
rather than neither of us make
right,
it. So
because if you notice, all the bigger people, they collab with one another. They're always putting each other in thumbnails.
Yeah.
They're working amongst each other because it becomes a community. So imagine now that people were to be like collabing with one another, and it's just like, oh, what the hell? It creates a bigger union and a louder noise for people to notice it.
yeah, for sure.
Just like right now, like, can you name me any other podcast here in San Diego?
No, I can't.
Right? So San Diego as a whole is doing something wrong.
Yeah.
Right? So I don't know, but yeah, that's my foot of thought, that I truly am a consumer to this podcast and I truly love it. That's why like I'm a student to the game. I'm always learning more and more things as I go. But so far right now, like I'm in love with the setup. Like we were mentioning
really
earlier,
nice.
just with one button, I control all the cameras, which I started before. I don't know if you guys saw, but before I used to be clicking one camera to the other, and I couldn't really truly be concentrating on the conversation.
Right.
Yeah. So
Which is something that maybe another like content creator doesn't know. You know?
Yeah.
And they're still doing the clicking, but maybe they have some other knowledge, editing knowledge or something that you don't have, and it's like we collab and we both win.
You know who told me about the like cameras not dying? Because just fun fact, all the cameras usually die off at 30 minutes, even before 30 minutes. But exactly what he just said, because I collabed with Danny Flores. He's like, oh bro, let me put you up to game. He said like, just get this machine and your cameras are not gonna die. And you can connect all your cameras together. And we were going back and forth. He was helping me out like, yeah, dude, just get this, get that. And then I helped him and I showed him other techniques and things like that. And now I have the setup I wanted, but exactly that.
Yeah.
Just collabing with people is going to take you to another step.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I feel like the beauty industry is like that too, because when I was lashing, it was like, oh, what adhesive are you using? What lashes are you using? What tweezers are you using? Just different tools that, you know, sometimes you would ask another lash artist like, hey, what are you using? And it's like, oh, I'm not really sure, but I'll get back to you. Like, girl, you know damn well you know what you're using, you know? And it's like, oh shit, like adhesives are based on like temperature and humidity levels. So if it's too humid, you have to use another adhesive. So sometimes like you would have a lot of problems with adhesives and it's like, oh, hey girl, like what are you using? Like it's not working for me anymore, or like this, that. And sometimes they would just be like dry, like, oh no, I don't know, I don't remember, or I'm still using the same one. It's just like clearly not wanting to collaborate, you know? But then se les atora a ellas and they'd be like, oh, hey, girl, what was the name of those tweezers you're using in that video? Like, it was so smooth.
Yeah.
Like, girl, Google it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, ahora sí.
Damn,
Yeah.
yeah. It's like, instead of helping each other out, it's like people are just so competitive and envious. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah. And so now, did you ever have a mentor for that or just other friends or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had a lot of friends that, like, we all lashed, so we created like this little lash group.
Yeah.
And we would all help each other out, and I would watch a lot of podcasts on lashing and a lot of YouTube videos. There's also a lot of like trainings and classes and conventions, stuff like that too. So
Yeah.
I would always be like going to every like event that there was so that I could connect with other people, learn, make friends.
Yeah. Because something that I realized is that when you pay for something or for a service, that's when you take things seriously. Right. For instance, when I started paying for my clipping editor, right, to do the reels or whatnot, the captions, that's when I'm like, fuck, if I don't send them anything to edit, then it's costing me money for nothing, right? So it puts me a little bit into that pressure, right? And in comparison, what I realized is that cuando no te cuesta algo, you're not gonna take it as serious,
Right.
But now that you have that pressure, like for instance, it's like if for any day that you don't edit something, you're gonna send me $5.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit,
I have to edit today.
Yeah.
Even if it's the smallest thing,
Right.
Like, you want to do it because it's like, I'm not gonna lose money.
Yeah, exactly. So, and that goes to a lot of people, and because even the guy here, Hugo, the guy with the gym, he said that he pays mentors to like skip a lot of steps and go directly to the source, right? And eventually I want to be able to do that for people. Like everything that I've learned, trust me, like I got to the point that from editing the podcast to like maybe 2-3 days to bringing it down to like maybe 30 minutes, an hour. So I can provide a lot of value for people. So at one point I want to be able to help people in that sense, right?
Right.
So yeah, I want to be a mentor.
Yeah.
For social media. So
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just that I love doing this, and that's my biggest dream. If I'm able to like make income source from podcasts, from like editing services, from just content creating, from vlogging, like man, that's my biggest dream, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
Yeah, getting closer. At least we're getting closer.
Yeah.
You know. But yeah, and anything else? Not that we're gonna end the podcast yet, but so is there any influencers that? Oh, you know what? This one in particular. So I just had a podcast. This is gonna be a week after the one with Daniel, but he was saying that when he had one of his friends that he went to a Luis Miguel concert and that he wanted to cry, right? Like his friend wanted to cry because he saw Luis Miguel or whatever. Is there somebody maybe in the influencing world or somebody that's famous that you would feel that you would have that same type of feeling that you would want to cry?
No.
No? Or meet? Maybe influencer or celebrity, you know?
No, I don't idolize people. I don't believe in idolizing people, influencers, artists. I like music. I enjoy the artist. I enjoy social media. I enjoy, I enjoy it, but I do not idolize them. Like, you guys are regular people living regular lives. Half of you guys are depressed, unhappy, and we don't even know it.
You know what? A lot of those times they're the loneliest people.
Yeah. And here I am, like, acting like you're God, or like you said, some people are crying, falling to their knees. It's like, I love J.O.P. from Fuerza Regida, and I always tell my boyfriend, like,
do you really?
I do.
Well, why?
I love his story. I love that he came out of nothing, and I enjoy his music. So I really like him. And I always tell my boyfriend, like, oh my God, I would faint if I met him and all this stuff. No, I wouldn't. Like, he's a regular person. You know?
But you would be hyped, though.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to be like, oh, Like, no, of course. I'd be like, oh my God, like fangirling.
Yeah.
But like, hasta ahí,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be like, even to go out of my way to be like, oh my God, like, take a picture with me. Like, yeah, I'll ask, like, do you mind taking a picture? Like, no, not right now. Okay, that's fine, you know?
Yeah.
But when I see videos of like fans like screaming and going up to them and stuff, I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to me.
Yeah. I did see that comment that you left. I'm like, hey, are you going to cut your hair? Did he reply?
No. But I think he is. I think that's why he let it grow, so that he could cut it right before tour.
Yeah.
At least I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I don't know. But yeah. What were we talking about?
About like just people in general, like celebrities for social media, influencers. that
Yeah,
you
like
would be.
someone that I'm like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, I can't. When Daniel was telling me that story, I couldn't really think of anybody that I would be like really be interested like to meet or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if I get to meet people, which I have in the past, it's like, oh shit, damn, that's freaking crazy, right? And I'll be hyped, but
Right.
I can't think of one. Like maybe somebody that's like coming in my head right now, and maybe this is not the person that I would like truly want to meet, but Mike Tyson is one of them, because his story, it's crazy, right, as well. And then he's into like plant medicine and DMT and ayahuasca and all that stuff, and he's done it, and he's done a lot of he's said a lot of his experiences out there. So I'm like, fuck, that'll be interesting to talk to. Yeah. Which I'm trying to get a shaman to come to the podcast. Yeah, that's a huge one that I'm trying to have.
That would definitely go viral.
Yeah. Especially the stories he said that he shared while we're in ceremony. Crazy. Like I messaged him, it sounds like he's interested in, but he's doing like ceremonies almost on a daily. So, and then he's traveling back and forth. So, but oh man, the stories are like everything I would want to ask him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you do ayahuasca, I know you like travel into like another realm, right?
Yeah.
So what realm, like, is that like past or future?
Both.
Oh, okay.
Why? Because in that realm, time doesn't exist. Because you're able to travel past and relive some experiences of your life, but it also can show you the future. There's been stories that the plant medicine has given guidance to people of like, hey, for your business, if you want your business to nourish and grow, you have to do this, you have to do that. Literally, it's told them every single step, and they've been able to even become millionaires because they followed the path and the guidance of the plant.
Right.
Same thing as far as like Chelo has seen in past ceremonies, she has seen part of her future, and it's crazy to think, but we till this day we still don't want to like overhype it and overthink of what those visions were, because we don't know if they're gonna truly come into fruition. But yeah, you're able to go back and forth. Yeah.
Is it like a story?
Yeah, it almost
Like
seems
a movie?
Yeah, it almost seems like a movie. Yeah, I'm trying to think, because it's been like it's been like maybe 2-3 years.
Oh, since the last time you did
Yeah,
it? Oh, wow.
yeah. Which I want to go this year. I want to do it again. Are you interested in going or no?
I am.
Would you be down to go with me? Let's do it.
I'm scared.
What are you scared of?
I'm scared of like throwing up and like
It might happen. It might not.
sick and stuff.
That it's only so. I've told you my experience, right? Or no? Really?
I mean, I watched like
Yeah.
You've had a couple ayahuasca
Yeah.
videos, so I've watched a little bit of all of them.
Okay.
So
So the first one, I didn't throw up. So you might throw up. So the different steps or the different ways of purging, you might cry, you might laugh, you might throw up, you might go to the restroom. But it just might happen, or you might go to sleep. like throughout the whole ceremony.
But are you conscious
Yeah.
the whole time?
Yeah.
So like you're shitting on yourself.
If you do, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
you feel yourself like physically sick.
Yeah, it almost feels like you're buzzed. Like even when you go to the restroom, you're able to go to the restroom, but you just raise your hand. You tell the shaman that you need a little bit of guidance. Like, hey, I need to go to the restroom, and they'll
So
take you.
how are you seeing the movie? With your eyes closed or open?
So you can open. You have the ability to open your eyes and kind of like you kind of snap out of it, right?
Okay.
And then you get back into a meditative state.
Okay.
But you're able to like open your eyes and all that. But obviously, if you're like deep into like seeing this vision or whatever, you're not just gonna open your eyes because you're so deep into this and you're just like in that meditative state that you can't just like snap out of it. But let's say if at the end of that vision or whatever, you can open your eyes and like, oh shit, I need to use the restroom or whatever.
Yeah.
But you're in a state that you have control over yourself.
Yeah, and maybe you can clip this so that someone can help me. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I don't know, but I have a memory of when I was a little girl. And I'm like, I remember everything about that memory. But I don't know if I don't know if I as an adult made that memory up or if it really happened.
What?
So I feel like it's like, does that happen? I don't know. Like,
What's that memory?
it's like a traumatic memory. And I was a little girl.
Wow.
And I remember it so vividly. And I'm like, did I have a bad dream? Because I don't remember anything about it except for like the memory replaying in my head.
Wow.
And I remember it. And it's like really traumatic. But like, I was so young that like it doesn't affect me. I don't really remember the event. I just remember the memory.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay, as like, do people make memories up in their head? Like, how does that memory work, you know?
Okay. So at times, and this is because I've watched similar instances of things like that, right? So at times it might be that maybe it did happen in this life, right? In this current life, it might happen. And your mind might have like blocked it in a sense for you to be protected and continue going on with you. But the core memory is still there, right? But it might have created a blockage for you to like be able to continue on with your life, right?
Yeah.
Or it might be that maybe you live this in a different lifetime, but were you able to see yourself as Bere, as a little girl?
Yeah.
Okay. So,
And so I'm scared to do ayahuasca and then relive that because I don't remember it.
Okay.
So why do I want to remember it?
a lot of people feel like that's you know what, it's funny that you say that because a lot of people's fear is that they don't want to relive bad things. However, those things that you're worried about reliving, it's stopping you from a lot of things, from truly being your best version of yourself, because it might be dragging you back, it might be holding you back, or you at the end of the day you have a weight on your shoulders, on your persona, that you can't truly flourish.
Maybe.
And once, so what ayahuasca does a lot, it makes you, and it puts you in a state that it makes you face those fears or those traumatic instances, in order for you to like, actually even Darcy that came, she's like, she got put in those scenarios, but they're like, no, like watch it, like live it, but let it go, like experience it, but let it go. It kept
so
on
hard.
It kept on telling her like, watch it, let it go, feel it, like kind of like, hey, like in a sense, man up, like just go through it. It's gonna hurt, it's gonna suck, but once you go through it again, you're gonna let it go, and you're gonna be truly yourself. I
don't know. That's pretty intense.
And you know what? Even one of my other friends that actually I took her with me to ayahuasca was actually my cousin also went there Julian, and it was her. It was like a group of us. We did ceremony, and there was things that she got presented through ayahuasca about her family, and she was like, "What the heck?" Like she got presented
And
things
things that she didn't know.
that she didn't know, and later on she got confirmation that those things did happen, and it involved other people. Yeah.
See, and how do you go from there? That's what I'm saying. It's like, why stir the pot? You know, like I'm scared to like open this can of worms and like, goddamn, like what did I do?
Yeah. At the end of the day, the truth is the truth.
Yeah, but no one knows.
Yeah.
Like it's easier to just leave it.
Yeah. Like why mess with if you're in
Something
a good,
that isn't
if you're
broken.
if you're in a good state of your life, like why like you said, stir the pot and then it
Yeah.
might create other things, but you don't know. And maybe and yeah, it's I can totally understand that, but
So that's just one of my biggest fears, that I find certain truths that I'm like,
well, you already kind of know that it might be a possibility of being truth, right?
yeah, because I'm like, you know, my mom was still alive when I had this like memory.
Yeah.
And I asked her about it because there was no one else that I could like really go to. I'm like, where the fuck did this come from? Like,
Yeah.
it's this like, I just don't think I would make something like that up.
Right.
Like, I really don't know if I had this wild dream and like I just woke up and felt like, goddamn, that, you know, when you have a dream and you're like, oh my God, that felt so real.
Yeah.
Or if this really happened and like you said, it was like embedded into my head and I just, you know, ignored it. So anyways,
Right.
one day I asked my mom because I was like, this is bothering me. Like, I don't know if I made this up. I don't know if, like I just had this wild dream or what happened. I'm like, but did you ever like leave me with so-and-so? Like, did you ever talk to me? Like, did you ever, I would ask her questions and she'd be like, no, like there's just no way. And I'm like, are you sure? Because I have this very clear memory.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. She's like, there's absolutely no way. So I'm like, okay.
It's very
well,
interesting.
Then I don't know, you know?
Yeah. But you know what? That story, and I can assume what the story is, right?
Yeah.
But I've heard it so many times, and it's so common that
Yeah.
that other people have lived through things like that. And the majority of the times, those things have happened.
Yeah.
So
And I have heard, you know, I've heard of that too, where it's like a memory that it's like a trauma that our brain naturally like blocks.
yeah.
But then what triggered it for me to remember it? Because I didn't remember it up until like maybe 5 years ago.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I never had a recollection of it up until like just, it was like a switch. And I was like, wait, no, like what?
Yeah.
I'd never had this memory before. Where did it come from? So that's why I'm like, does anyone know where, like how this works? Like maybe it is true. Like maybe it is a trauma and somewhere, somehow it gets triggered and maybe it does do it like a switch, you know?
If you were to find out that, because we don't, oh, this is another thing too with ayahuasca, right? There's times when it's good to go with an intention, but at times you will get what you need, right? Medicine will give you what you need for you to continue becoming better, right? So you might not even get an answer to that at all. Like it might not even touch that subject. It might give you other things that will help you maybe at one point, because at the end of the day, it ends up being almost like if it was a therapy session.
Right.
They say that with ayahuasca, it's like 100 therapy sessions in one. But you might not even get any of that. But my question to you is, if you were to find out that it was true or that it wasn't true, would it change anything for you?
I mean, realistically, no, it wouldn't, because I mean, I'm an adult. I don't have a recollection of it. Like I don't hold on to any trauma because of it. It's just like a memory. It's weird. Like I don't There's nothing like, there's not a negative
Right.
emotion to this memory. It's
Yeah.
just a memory.
It's just something that you just
Yeah, and it's a wild memory, and I'm like,
Right.
why would I ever think of that or make that up, you
Yeah.
know? So no, realistically it wouldn't change anything. And if it were true, then I mean, it's true.
Yeah.
What am I going to do, you know?
yeah.
It would be negative, and I would
Right.
obviously feel some type of way, but
Right now, the only thing that came to my mind is the truth will set you free.
Yeah.
For some reason that.
yeah, but
Yeah.
then it's like, I mean, I don't ever think of this. It just came up.
Yeah.
Now it's not like I wake up in the morning and I'm like,
Yeah,
is
it
this
just
true?
It just
Like,
came up because of the conversation.
yeah, I
right?
never
Yeah.
think of this.
Yeah.
It's just like that weird.
Yeah, and why isn't why does it like bring that curiosity of you wanting to do ayahuasca by any chance? You feel like you would want some healing?
Yeah. And mainly, like you said, just like getting not necessarily answers, but like just seeing everything transparent.
Yeah.
You know, like that transparency within yourself, the growth within yourself,
Yeah.
mainly.
You know why I would want to do it more consistently, like not obviously like on a monthly basis, but at least once a year. Why? Because, and I don't know your thoughts about this, but the physical realm, it's all an illusion to my point of view. It's almost like a hologram that we're putting out together, right? And when you do ayahuasca, you realize a lot of things that you tap into a dimension that's reality. Whatever the source is, whatever that is, but you have a feeling that that's home.
Yeah.
A message that I received, a message that Julian received, our cousin Julian, and other people have received, that all of this is like a virtual reality.
Yeah.
All of this is a virtual reality.
And you know, I think another reason why, now that you mention it, is because I feel like I'm very like spiritually woke.
Okay.
Like I already feel like we live in a realm without ever having to do ayahuasca. Like I feel it.
Okay. So you feel like this is not real?
Real.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I already feel like this is just like we're just like little.
Yeah, and that was my reason for me to doing ayahuasca, because I had the same feeling. I'm like, dude, I know there's more to life than this.
Yeah.
That's why I went to ayahuasca.
Yeah, I already feel like that. So I always say, like, if I already feel like that now, like imagine how much more connected I'll be after ayahuasca.
Yeah.
You know, like
Yeah.
I already believe in like our spirits, and I'm very in tune with like my spiritual like healing and everything. So I just feel like that would just elevate everything for me. But I'm scared. I'm scared to like see things. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Trust me, it is scary to your first, and not even your first time. Even if I go again, it's still a little bit scary. Why? Because my two last ones, they were very, very physical. I hardly saw any visions, but I threw up a lot. The two last ones, I threw up a lot. And there was one time that I remember I got dropped off, and when I got to the house, I felt the urge to throw up. So I stormed through the house. Chilla was like, what the heck? What's going on? What she tells me was that I had like a face that was really, really mad. And she was like, what the hell? What's wrong? Like, what happened? You know? So I stormed through the house, and because I wanted to throw up. So I come to the backyard, and I don't remember this, but after I threw up, they said, like, what the heck? It was my friend and Chelo. They're like, what the heck? Like, is everything okay? And I'm like, yeah, why? Like, dude, you screamed loud. Like, like, supposedly I screamed, but I don't remember screaming. I just remember throwing up. But even though the obviously the throwing up and all of that sucked, who knows what I was carrying inside of me that I released whatever was stuck inside, maybe.
Yeah. When you did ayahuasca, did you like relive traumas? Like from when you were a kid?
No, I guess not traumas, but the biggest message was that I because I lacked the motherly affection, so it gave me reassurance of why I was given to my mom. Right, I was given to my mom because she needed me more than I needed her. So at times, certain people are placed in your life for you to help them. At the end of the day. So it gave me that reassurance that even though my mom here in the physical realm, she's my mom, but she needed me more than she needed me more than I needed of her, but I still had Mother Ayahuasca to take care of me. So it gave me that peace of mind that, like I'm being taken care of. Right. So that was the biggest message. Also, what else did I see?
Are you able to like talk to her?
In to Mother Ayahuasca, Chelo has. I think for me, I don't think I was able to, but the times that Chelo has, like she literally has a full on conversation with Mother Ayahuasca, and then other like little quote unquote creatures or beings in that realm that they're like the little helpers. And the best way to describe those helpers of Mother Ayahuasca, from what Chelo has mentioned, they're like almost like funny figures, like puzzles put together all in one. Like maybe an eye here and a nose here. Like they're like funny beings, and those are the helpers that help Mother Ayahuasca, right? And they literally were telling Chelo, like Chelo was communicating back and forth. And like, okay, well, here, they would like communicate back and forth. Should we tell her? Okay, let's tell her. They had a book and they would be scanning through the book. Okay, well, by this time, this is going to happen, like back and forth. And so I feel like she's more in tune into that realm, or just in general, right? That she's been able to have the communication back and forth. She's also seen like a lot of like some of her future, I guess, maybe stages. And then there's some that didn't come into fruition. And when she went back to ayahuasca, she was kind of like, hey, you told me this was going to happen, but it didn't. And so they showed her, look, in your timeline, there was a glitch. And they showed her an actual timeline that there was a glitch, but they told her what's meant for you, don't worry, it's for you. We've already showed you. Like, trust the process, even though...
Like, no me equivoco.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah, it's going to happen, but it might not happen exactly how you want it, but it's going to happen. Yeah. So she's had that communication in that dimension. I personally haven't. Like, the two last ones, it was very physical. Like, I threw up a lot. I think Chelo threw up a little bit. But the first one, I just like laughed a lot. I cried a lot. I don't know if I had told you this, but being and doing ayahuasca, like it was the most love I've ever felt in my life. Like I felt so much love that I just started crying. I started crying and I was like, I'm home. That's why I tell you that when I tapped into that, it just felt like that's where I belong. Not here.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really want to do it. I feel like it's one of those things that you just do. You don't think about it too much.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I had a friend who did it, but she goes to La Ciudad de Mexico to do it.
Okay.
I don't know why, but she goes over there, and when I heard she had done it, I've always been super curious about it. And she said something. She's like, if you've been curious about it, it's because she's calling you. She's like, you need to go do it.
I agree. They say that, and maybe the people that are listening to this podcast, maybe there's a purpose why they're listening to it, right? The same thing with you. If your friend and me, whatever, it's just kind of like it's calling you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So those are all signs that maybe it's getting closer for you to actually try it at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I, at least, like I've told other friends, like I will never peer pressure anybody to do it. But if it comes to me, my recommendation is like, I wish people could at least try it once in their lifetime, because it's really that healing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully soon.
Oh, you have to diet for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you have to cleanse yourself.
Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. What was her experience? Was it a positive experience?
She had a very healing experience. She was very materialistic. She was very like brands and money, and I need a house, the car, the, perfect life with the perfect husband. And I feel like it almost like humbled her. Like you said, she entered this realm and she's like, none of this shit matters. Like, what am I doing? Yeah, so now she's like super hippie, super boho, like low key.
Dude, I wonder if she would be down to share her story.
I think she would.
Really? Oh, dude.
I don't know though, but
yeah,
because some people are kind of personal with it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe not the whole thing, but maybe part of it or whatever, or maybe she's down to share the whole thing. But that's something that I told myself too, that through podcasts I want to share more of that, just to spread more.
And
awareness.
I don't know, I mean, I've seen her a couple times, but from the energy that I see when she posts, it's so different.
Oh, really?
She used to be so like high maintenance and like operada, like this and that.
Oh, wow.
And like a good way, not like in a bad way. Yeah. And now her energy is so light and airy, and it's so like friendly and welcoming. It's weird. So I know what what her experience was like personally.
Yeah.
But even in her like persona, like her aura, it's like completely different, which is so funny because even if she hadn't said anything to me about her doing ayahuasca, I would have noticed like this big change in her.
Right.
And I would have wondered, like, I wonder what happened. Like,
that's
wow.
crazy.
So it's really interesting how it changes, you know?
Do you know what made her change? Like, was there something she saw or a message that she received by any chance?
I think it was mainly that's what she told me, that she kind of was like, what are you doing?
Like, none of this matters.
Yeah, like they told her, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you focused on this and that and that? Like, none of that matters. Right. You need to focus on this and that.
Yeah.
And she was just like, it's so true. Like, and I think she said that they showed her future.
Oh, shit.
If she kept, like, going
down that path.
Yeah. And they were like, this is what's going to happen. Like, you need to stop. Like, you need to ground yourself. And, they told her what to do. And I guess she's doing it.
That's crazy.
To what I know, I don't really know everything, but kind of from what she told me.
Yeah. And a lot of people go through that. Mm-hmm. Man, that'll be interesting, man. I really hope you at least try it once.
Yeah.
That way you can at least understand it a little bit more.
Yeah.
Like all your senses also like get enhanced. Mm-hmm. You're able to hear more. You're able to like it just cleanses you. So
have you heard that it cures, like if you're an addict or something?
It's cured a lot of people.
Yeah, but how does that work? Do you know?
At times, so there's different ways, right? From what I've heard, there's times when people are like truly, truly sick, right? They have sicknesses and like even cancer, things like that. And this one in particular, they've, as weird as it sounds, literally alien beings were surrounding this person, and they extracted a black ball out of her body. And it turns out that the ball that they extracted was the cancer. And when she went back to her regular checkups with the doctor, like,
it was gone.
You don't have anything. Yeah. and she was cured. Now she was cured in that sense with pretty much surgery through ayahuasca. Chelo got surgery through ayahuasca too.
Really?
She had one of her arms or whatever. They did surgery on ayahuasca, and one of those beings was like in charge of keeping her distracted while she was like being worked on and getting surgery. And all she would see was hands like working on her arm and doing surgery while this little being was like trying to distract her.
Did she feel anything?
She was just feeling kind of like tingling, yeah, a little bit
movement.
Yeah, exactly. And after that, she was like, I don't have no pain. Yeah, I don't have no pain.
How long is like the ayahuasca process?
Ceremony is about 6 hours.
Oh, okay.
But you don't feel like, it's just like time is non-existent. Yeah, so you don't even realize it. The way that it feels is like you're going through this journey, right? And next thing you know, you're just like, you almost feel like you land, like, oh, we're back. Yeah, it's insane.
Yeah, it sounds really, really, really crazy.
Yeah, so that's one way that people get healed, right? Because the shaman also, he got healed from his knee, because he said he had one of his friends or whatever that was there. They're like, did I see what I just freaking saw? Like, he's like, yeah, there was aliens here and they worked on his knee and they fixed his knee. So that was one. And now there's other people that just like truly they get cleansed, that because you're doing diet, then you receive this medicine, it extracts, maybe you throw up, you purge, right? So you're throwing up all that bad energy and you just don't want to do any of that no more.
That's what I'm scared of too. Like, I don't know why I attract like all this fucking envidia and hate. I'm like, damn, what did I do to everybody? And I'm like, but I mean, you're right. It's like, why do I want that in me? You know?
Yeah.
But I'm so like, ugh, I have to throw up.
So it's part of the process, right? Same thing when you had babies, you had to throw up.
I know. I was so sick when I got pregnant.
Yeah.
So I asked you, like, oh, does Cello have morning sickness and stuff? You're like, no.
I haven't seen it, but she tells me she has, though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Fuck. Oh, it's something that they told Cello for me. They gave her a lot of advice for me, was that I personally need to be doing limpias. Yeah, because since this is what I do and I'm posting a lot, that there's a lot of eyes, supposedly there's going to be more eyes on me, that I need to do constant limpias.
Yeah, I've been told that before too.
Yeah, so that's something for sure that
I've gotten like my cards read before.
Oh, really? Mm-hmm. Okay.
And that's what they said. They're like, you attract a lot of like envidia, you attract a lot of like, why does she get that? Why does she live like that? Like, just envidia. It's like naturally you've always attracted that. So you have to protect yourself. Yeah. She's like, but that also like sticks with you. Like all that envidia, all that like the bad wishing upon you, like sticks with you. It sticks to like your spirit, you know?
It's because you have a strong persona. Yeah, strong persona and like almost maybe heavy energy, maybe because of that, maybe for the same the reason.
Yeah.
So yeah, have you gotten limpias?
Yeah, I have.
Oh, really? Where do you go?
Here in San Diego.
Oh shit. Damn, that's crazy. I've been wanting to get limpias. We've done our own with Palo Santo and sage and stuff like that, but I want to get like a limpia done.
Yeah, I'll give you her number.
Yeah, that'll be dope. Yeah, so maybe at one point you share your story of ayahuasca here.
I know.
Yeah, that'll be dope, man.
Hopefully it's not too deep.
Yeah, obviously, yeah, and that's not the purpose of like for Chisme, but at the same time it spreads more awareness because a lot of people have no idea about plant medicine.
Yeah.
And it's helped me, it's helped Chelo out a lot. A lot of people have healed. So if I'm able to put like my grain of salt into somebody like getting healed in one sense, like that would be more than amazing.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so I'll do the limpia, maybe you do the ayahuasca. Yeah, I want to go this year, so maybe if si te animas, maybe we can go.
Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah. And anything else, Bere? We're at 1 hour and 14 minutes. Anything else that maybe any other questions about ayahuasca that might help? Anything? No?
No.
Okay. Well, if they got to this point, what emoji should they
The
share?
butterfly emoji.
Butterfly?
The blue butterfly emoji.
Why the blue butterfly?
I don't know. I like it.
Yeah, and leave a plant emoji,
Okay.
butterfly and a plant, right? Either one of those two. Yeah, because I don't know if they have the same emoji for Android and iPhone. Yeah, I have
iPhone.
Android. Oh man,
Oh God.
Samsung Android. Oh man,
Blue bubbles only.
no, it's because we get the green ones, right?
Yeah.
Dude, Android. Once you go to Android, dude, it's like you can do so much with your phone. I've had
I
both.
just want to call and text. That's it.
Yeah. So I don't know. That's my thing. But leave a plant emoji or a blue butterfly if you guys made it to this point. If you guys have any questions, drop them down below. Feel free to reach out on the Instagram of Hoy No Mas Podcast if you guys do have more in-depth questions, or let us know what you guys think on the comment section. Good.
Awesome.
All right. Once again, my name is Angel Houseman. Bere.
Hello.
It's a bigger risk, not taking a risk. Until next time, thank you for your time.
Bye, guys.